boys. It's a beautiful morning. It's 5 a.m. right now. Barely got any sleep last night. Birds are chirping. This is the hack. This is the hack right here. Showing up whether you feel like it. Waking up when you need to, when you know you need to, if you want to reach wherever you want to be in life. This is the hack. Everyone's trying to find a hack. It's in the simple shit. It's in the little shit. This is the fucking hack, bro. Look at this shit. We just vibing out here. You have to stay true to that true commitment you made to yourself. You probably set down goals of what you wanted to accomplish this year. But how many of you are actually sticking to that shit? Genuinely. How many of you are actually sticking to the shit? And, have you actually transformed in these past 6 months? Or have you been slacking off? Me personally, being fully transparent, I'm nowhere where I said I wanted to be. And that's due to the fact that I was looking for the fucking cheat code. There is no cheat code, bro. I was waking up at 4:30 a.m. every single day. Gave that a rest. And guess what? My dreams became a rest with that. Because I let one little piece of my life go, one little piece of my routine go. And guess what? Everything else falls in line with that. We got a little bunny. But man, this is what it's gonna come down to, bro. If you genuinely want to see your dream life, if you want to live that dream life, provide for others, whatever it is, doesn't matter. This is what it's gonna take. This is where the wins, you're gonna stack the wins. All these early mornings, you might not see the return right away. But that's because God, or, whatever you believe in, the power, the game is fucking testing you right now, bro. The game is testing you. It's trying to weed out all the weak people, all the weak fucking minded people who want it instantly. They're weeding out everybody for the next 6 months. If you can dedicate 6 months, you probably still won't see no fucking progress. But you need to understand that because you're being consistent, you're being congruent, and you're being aligned with the person who gets the things you want, right? You're already 6 months ahead of everybody. You've had that experience. You've been through the trials and tribulations that most of the people won't fucking want to stay throughout. So, you're already fucking ahead. Think about it like that. Every day, it's you versus you, bro. At the end of the day, it's always going to be you versus you, You don't get abs by doing bullshit. You don't get fucking, you don't, if you're trying to be confined, if you're trying to be like everyone else, do what everyone else does, bro. But if you're watching this still, and you genuinely want to see that fucking improvement, if you genuinely want to live the life you see in your head, this is what it's going to take. The early mornings. You don't have to wake up early, but it'll get you in the right frequency. It'll get you in the right mood to get the day done, attack the day hard. But, man, just stay consistent. Be yourself, bro. Be yourself. Figure it out. Figure out what it is that you want. You just have to live every day in gratitude. That's another thing, too, I've been doing. Living in gratitude is one of the best things you can do because you're not being overly humble, You're just being thankful for what you already have. And if you can be thankful for what you have now, man, blessings are coming your way. Blessings are coming your way. And when those blessings do come your way, you're going to be well deserving of them. Because by then you'll definitely be developed into the person who deserves all the shit they get. You know, think about it this way. All the fucking people who win the lottery, you know why they fucking lose all that shit? Because they didn't have the personal development that goes behind it, right? They don't know how to manage the money. You know, that's why it destroys them. You don't want to win the lottery. You want to actually put in that fucking work, bro. You know, then you won't feel empty inside. Then you won't, feel something missing within you. Because you know you gave it your all. You know you genuinely worked hard for the life you have. Which is another thing too, right? The life you have right now, it's all because of you. You know, nothing else, bro. Another bunny in the cut. Another fucking bunny in the cut. That's crazy. But yeah, everything you're doing is in congruence. It's in alignment. All your habits. You know, all your habits you're doing every single day. That's what you amount to. You amount to your habits. You know, obviously if you're jerking off, if you're doing bullshit, you're going to get bullshit rewards. You know, if you're giving into that cheap dopamine, if you're giving into the instant gratification, you're going to get where everyone else gets. So, boom, flip the switch. Okay, I'm going to prolong this dopamine, you know. I'm going to actually earn this shit. And I'm going to do what my future self does. You know, if you're not in alignment with what you want to accomplish, if you're not doing the things that you said you would at the start of the year, if you're not doing the things you said your future self would do, if you're not doing those things, you're cooked. It's over, bro. It's already over. So, might as well give up. You might as well be like everyone else. But if you don't want to do that bullshit, if you don't want to live a normal life, be that fucking person you see in your head. You know, start acting like him. How does that person act on a day-to-day basis? Does he jerk off? No. Okay, don't do that bullshit. Does he wake up early? Does he not waste his time on bitches? Does he not waste his time on lust? Does he not waste his time on bullshit? Okay. How are we gonna go? How are we gonna go by that? You know? At the end of the day, bro, it's genuinely gonna come down to how bad you're willing to stay consistent. Consistency is the number one thing. You know, you can have all the big ideas, you can have everything in the world, but if you're not consistent, you're gonna fail. Because there's always someone out there who's consistent as shit. There's always someone out there who, you know, for example, there's probably someone out there who uploads one YouTube video a day minimum, maybe more, and it's high value. And that's who I'm competing with. Or there's probably someone who, you know, you could relate it to sports. If you're big into sports, if you're big into the gym, there's definitely someone who's outworking you all the time. All the time. They're hitting their meals. They're hitting their macros. They're hitting their workouts hard. They're training intense. They're training like a fucking monster. That's who you're in competition with. You need to compare yourself to the highest of the highest if you want to see the best results in life. You know, a lot of people are comparing themselves to the average fucking human, which is bullshit. Straight bullshit, bro. If you want to be, like, you should never compare yourself to someone you never want to be like, bro. Never. Because that's how you're going to fucking be like them. And you're going to hate your life. You're going to be miserable as shit. So, man, this is the fucking cheat code, bro. This is the fucking hack. There's no cheat code. The cheat code is in the consistency. It's in the small things. It's in the little things like this, bro. Just being grateful for life. You know, I'm not where I want to be by any means in life, but I'm still the fucking happiest dude on the planet, you know? And by any means does that, and not by any means does that mean like, oh, I'm complacent. No. I'm fucking getting after it every single day, bro. Every day. There's nothing that can stop me. You know, that's the mindset I've had. You know, I may not be where I want to be, but it's a true wake-up call. True wake-up call. You know, if you're not getting better every 3 to 6 months, you're not doing enough. You shouldn't be the same person mentally, physically, within 3 months. Like, you should be getting stronger. You should be looking better. You should be having more mental fortitude. You should be actually inspiring people, being a charismatic human being. You should be trying to uplift people all the fucking time. So, yeah, man. That's probably the end of this video. It's 5 a.m. Raw, unfiltered talk. If y'all fuck with these, bro, I'm gonna do some more of these. Because I love waking up early in the morning, bro. I've been waking up, not at 4:30, but at like 6 a.m. every single day. But today was a really early fucking day for me. Because I couldn't sleep. So, hey, we back at it. It's Keegan Harrison. Hope y'all enjoyed this video, man. Have a good fucking day. Kill the day. Hey, man. I'll see y'all in the next.